Welcome to A Magical Life, Health, Wealth and Weight Loss. I'm your host, Magic Barclay, lead practitioner at Holistic Natural Health Australia and #1 best-selling author. In this podcast, I aim to give you practical tips on how to accelerate and sustain your health, increase your financial, spiritual and emotional wealth, and to look at something that haunts many of us needlessly, weight loss. In some episodes, I'll have guests available to give you even more tips, but in others, the floor is yours. Drop us a line at A Magical Life Podcast on Facebook and let me know what you would like to know more about. Now, sit back and enjoy, because it is time for you to create and truly discover a magical life. Welcome back to A Magical Life. I'm your host, Magic Barclay, and today I'm joined by Natalie Jurado. Welcome back, Natalie.
Thank you so much for having me on. I can't wait to talk all about magnesium today.
Listen, I love magnesium, and many people probably don't know how important it is. And we kind of have maybe 5 main tips here for people on how magnesium will help them. And I really want to explore some ways that people can connect with this master mineral. So give us the first one. Why is magnesium so important, and how does it work on a cellular level?
Yes, so magnesium is involved with over 700 different biochemical processes in your body, and it's present in every single one of our trillions and trillions of cells. It's responsible for energy production in the body. It regulates insulin and blood sugar. It relaxes your muscles. It's involved in nerve conduction. So it has a really, really big job in our bodies.
And so how does it do all that? I mean, people are probably thinking, oh, I've heard about magnesium forever, but how does it actually work?
So, like most minerals and vitamins, our body is dependent on them to function. They work on a cellular level to actually function in your body. And what people get tripped up about is they hear magnesium and think it's some kind of drug. It's not a drug. It's a mineral. It's found in our food. It's found in our soil. It's found in the ocean. The ocean is chock full of magnesium. So it's something that you need to replace daily as well. So like many vitamins and minerals, we use them. We use it for hundreds of different functions in our body. So they need to be replaced daily.
And what's the best way to absorb magnesium?
So, magnesium is going to come to you in 3 different forms. The first one is going to be from your food. And I always tell people, if you're concerned about magnesium, start with your diet. So, magnesium is found in green leafy vegetables, it's found in certain fruits, it's found in nuts, it's found in seeds. So, go after your diet first. Chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, those are great, great sources, as well as almonds as well. So always try and include more magnesium rich foods in your diet. Secondly, you can actually get magnesium through your skin. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize. This is particularly effective if you have leaky gut or difficulty absorbing nutrients, or if you're a child and you can't swallow pills, or if you're elderly and you have a hard time swallowing. It's a wonderful option. So 2 ways to get it through your skin is simply by taking Epsom salt baths. Epsom salts are magnesium sulfate, and simply soaking in an Epsom salt bath will actually help raise your magnesium levels. Alternatively, you can use magnesium chloride, which is often found in an oil or a cream, and use that topically as well. And then the third way that you can get more magnesium into your body is to use a supplement. And this is what typically trips people up, because there are a lot of different types of magnesium that you'll find at your local pharmacy or your local health store. So people see this, they get overwhelmed, they don't know which kind to take, and then they just give up. So a rule of thumb is to avoid magnesium oxide, because magnesium oxide doesn't get absorbed well into your body system. Only about 4% is actually going to be absorbed into your system. Same goes for magnesium carbonate. Magnesium carbonate has wonderful antacid effects, but does not do a really good job of raising your levels. All the other different types of magnesium, malate, glycinate, citrate, threonate, those are all wonderful forms of magnesium that are absorbed really, really well and work very quickly.
That's great. Now, what is your second thing that people need to know about magnesium?
So, the next thing people should really, really know about magnesium is how to notice when you're low in magnesium. What are the symptoms? How can you pick that out? So, a typical magnesium deficient person is going to be walking around with their muscles that are as tight as a drum. They can't figure out why they're angry. They're feeling apathetic. They're nervous, confused. Your eye might start twitching. You'll feel fatigue, insomnia, muscle weakness. It's difficult to concentrate. You might have poor memory or a racing heartbeat. If you're dealing with lots of headaches and migraines, if you're dealing with restless legs, chronic muscle cramping, or if you have the symptoms of hormonal imbalance, those are all symptoms of low magnesium. So it's easy to spot because when you think about it, you've probably felt this way once or twice before in your life, or you know somebody who's had some of these symptoms. And it's normal because it's very, very, very common. We're talking anywhere from 60 to 70% of the population does not get enough of this key mineral daily.
Well, that's quite unbelievable that so many people can be deficient.
It really is amazing. And there's lots of reasons why. This kind of brings me to the third thing that I wanted to talk about. It's magnesium drain. Because so many people, like we focus so often on, hey, get enough magnesium into your system. You got to make sure you get enough. But the other side of that coin is what are you doing in your life that is draining your magnesium levels so quickly? And some of the things that will leach magnesium out of your system are drinking alcohol or drinking excessive caffeine, both of which are diuretics and will get rid of your magnesium rather quickly. Also, sugar. For every 1 molecule of sugar, you need 54 molecules of magnesium to balance that out. And as you probably know, sugar is something that people are easily addicted to, and it runs rampant in our societies. So sugar is definitely plays a role in how much magnesium you deplete on a regular basis. Another thing, which is funny, and I'm not telling people not to do it, but is exercise. Exercise depletes your magnesium levels. Now, don't run out there and say, hey, I shouldn't exercise anymore. I need my magnesium. That's not what I'm saying. But if you are exercising, you do need to be cognizant of that because oftentimes we will sweat our magnesium out of our system. It's an electrolyte like any other electrolyte. And we're quick to replace our potassium and sodium after doing endurance exercise and sweating a lot. But we often forget to replace our magnesium quite as quickly. And then there's certain medications that will deplete your magnesium and create an imbalance as well. Certain antidepressants, certain anti-anxiety medications, lots of different drugs out there if you are taking could also impact your magnesium levels as well. So it's really important to focus on not only getting enough magnesium into our system, but also making sure we're not burning through what we do have by drinking alcohol and eating sugar and also stress. Stress is another big one that I forgot to mention. Stress depletes your magnesium levels excessively. And the more stressed you are, the less magnesium you have. And the less magnesium you have, the more stressed you're going to feel. So it really is a vicious, vicious cycle. We need to do really a much better job of addressing our stress levels.
Right. Now, listen, the last two things that we're going to talk about here with magnesium, I'm actually going to suggest. Now, for tip number 4 or benefit number 4, in functional medicine, we know every mineral and every vitamin have a symbiotic relationship. And for every mineral, there's usually a vitamin or a cluster of vitamins that help activate that mineral. So, with magnesium, which vitamins activate it?
So, cofactors for magnesium, especially for absorption, are boron and taurate and many of your B vitamins, specifically vitamin B6. Those all work together to make magnesium more efficient and help it absorb more effectively into your body.
So, that was B6.
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, benefit number 5, and here we go. You mentioned food sources and obviously the different types of magnesium. What is one natural way that people can get more magnesium in their day every single day?
So, what I always like to tell people is to make a smoothie. I'm a big fan of smoothies, and a smoothie with your dark green leafy vegetables. Throw some almonds in there, some chia seeds. You can even throw some dark chocolate in there to make it even more delicious. That'll give you a really good amount of magnesium all in one shot. And it's all healthy too. High fiber, it's all, loaded with protein with all those goodies in there. So that's a wonderful, easy way to get more magnesium into your life. And then aim to take an Epsom salt bath at least 2 to 3 times a week to just really, really replenish those stores of magnesium. I always tell people that to take 2 cups of Epsom salt and 1 cup of baking soda. The baking soda, the bicarbonate in the baking soda helps with absorption of the magnesium sulfate in the Epsom salts. So soak for 20 minutes. Now, I do recognize that we all live very, very busy lives, and sometimes it's hard to soak in the tub 2 to 3 times a week. So, an alternative is to take that same amount of Epsom salt and baking soda and put it in a basin and soak your feet instead. And that can easily be done while you're on the computer or watching TV or just sitting down, relaxing, and reading a book. It's a quick, fast way to really impact your magnesium levels.
That's a great tip. And as you were saying that, I was actually looking down at my feet, working out how I could get a tub here under my desk.
Perfect.
Love it. Listen, we've only just scratched the surface here on how fantastic magnesium is. There is one last question I have for you, and that is when we supplement a particular mineral, sometimes it can become toxic. Case in point being zinc.
Mhm.
Does magnesium have that same kind of limit to it, or is it just free flowing and should be in abundance in your life?
Well, magnesium has a really great safety mechanism. It has a very powerful way of telling you that you've had too much. If you were to ingest too much magnesium, it will come out the other way. So it typically results in loose stools and diarrhea. And it's your body's way of saying, hey, I've had too much all at once. You need to back off and go a little bit slower. And so that's a really kind of like quick way to know that you've had too much magnesium. Of course, there are people who should not supplement with magnesium, namely people who have kidney malfunction or have some sort of dysregulation of their kidneys, because the kidneys help filter that excess magnesium out of our bodies. And if they're not working properly, then magnesium could pose a risk.
Some more great information there. Natalie, people can find you at TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram at Be Rooted In, and your website, berootedin.com. What can they find at your website?
Well, I created a line of magnesium infused creams and we sell them through our website as a quick way to just get magnesium into your system on a daily basis without having to take any pills or powders or anything like that. Please know that I love questions. So if you have thought of any questions during this and would like, some input, I respond. I truly respond to social media questions and email questions. So I'm an open book and ready to help anybody who has any questions.
Brilliant. Now, listeners, this was your episode 197. Natalie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me on. And thank you so much for what you do to spread wellness and health and vibrant living to all who listen.
Oh, blessed. Thank you. And listeners, thank you so much for your time. In episode 198, Stephen Rudolph will be joining us. And here's one for the fellas. He has a program called Feed Your Tigers. So we are going to talk more with him, very different take on things in life. We're looking at signs of misalignment with him, and definitely one to listen to. Ladies, that one's for you as well, but it's certainly more inclusive of all of our listener base. For now, thank you again for your time. Go forth and create your magical life. Thanks for listening today. Please subscribe to hear future episodes, leave a review, and share this podcast. You can follow us on Facebook at A Magical Life Podcast or at Holistic Natural Health Australia. That's holistic with a W. You can find us on Instagram at Holistic Natural Health or at www.holisticnaturalhealth.com.au. That's where you'll access all sorts of articles, freebies, and more.